Hey YouTube land, it's Jazwares here doing another action figure review, and again it's for another Fortnite figure. So before we proceed, I just want to say disclaimer on my videos that these video reviews are intended for collectors over the age of 13 and up. As I said in some of my previous videos, I have no control over who actually watches these videos, but I do intend them to be targeted at audiences 13 plus and collectors 13 plus. So this is the Jonesy figure from Fortnite, made by the folks over at Jazwares, and he is quite a nice figure. So I'll get onto his accessories in a minute, but for the most part, here is his box. So you have the white Fortnite boxes with the gold logo, Legendary logo. You have a picture of Jonesy in the corner. Comes with 8 pieces, 40 points of articulation. Flipping them around to the back of the box, just has an image of Jonesy. His little motto or caption is "No skin, no problem." Because as far as I know, he's basically the default character skins, if I remember correctly. So other characters in the range is Tomato Head, Valkyrie, DG Yonder, Leviathan, and Abstract, who is probably like the male version of Technique. And Leviathan I really want to get, but I want to get the solo version, the 4-inch scale solo version. Basically he's like a spaceman in a moon suit, or a spacesuit, with a globe and a fish for a head in a tank. Reminds me a lot of the character from Earthworm Jim, if I remember correctly. There was a character like that with a kind of a fishbowl head. It reminds me a lot of that character, which I'm assuming that is where they drew the inspiration for him from. So, before I get onto the figure, I'm going to just quickly give him a measure so you can see how high he is. If we can just get him to stand. Unfortunately, my review station is a little bit wobbly. So, he stands just around 6 inches, which is quite nice, which is about the standard height for the Legendary series. So, they are in scale with stuff like Marvel Legends and the Star Wars Black Series and some of the other lines that are in the 6-inch scale. So, for accessories, he comes with his harvesting tool, which is literally a harvesting looking tool. It looks like a pickaxe. His backpack, which is a kind of military style backpack with a water canteen on it. And it does fit on his back quite nicely. He comes with this big rifle. Not sure what sort of rifle you would call it. It looks like a kind of shotgun. So he holds it quite nicely in both hands. He has trigger fingers sculpted on both hands, so you can hold it in both hands if you want. Or you can do two-handed poses, so if you pose him correctly, you can have him holding it in 2 hands. So he does hold things nicely in 2 hands. He comes with a medi pack. As far as I know, I think these are supposed to be hand holds on the side of them, and you can hold it. So he comes with a medi box, or first aid box. And this is one of my favourite accessories that he comes with. It is a sticky grenade. Literally a sticky grenade, because it has a plunger on it, so when you throw it, it's supposed to stick to things via the plunger and then explode. So I kind of like that. It's kind of a nice gimmicky looking accessory. So articulation, he does have his he does have 2 other accessories, which I'll get into after I do the articulation. So it's a standard ball joint. It is hindered by the scarf piece, so you can get really good side to side, bit of up and down, not much 360. He has joints in the shoulder. He also has a butterfly joint, so you can get in and out on the shoulder. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. He has swivel in the wrist, a hinge in the wrist. It goes in and out. He has a hinge just where the fingers are, so you can get him to grip stuff a bit better or open his hands out. He does have diaphragm. He has a waist which is quite tight. He has splits. You can't do it much on this side because of this pocket which is sculpted on the side of his pants. He does have the thigh swivel. He has double jointed knees, which can get him back that much on his knee. He has a boot cut swivel just here, which is hidden by the boot, which is quite nice. He has that on both sides. He has the hinges on the feet, which are ratchet hinges. And then he has a extra hinge just on the toe, and he has a swivel on the ankle as well to give him rocker ankles. and he does have forward on the hip as well, not so much back because of the sculpting of the pants, but he can get into a seated position as well, so he's quite a jointed little fellow, and has some quite good positioning or posability. And then for his other two accessories, he has a removable, if I can get it to pop off while on screen, come on, ooh, there we go. He has a removable face, and he has alternate faces, so he basically has a slit down the side you put his face on, so his normal two faces kind of look the same. The only difference is he has one raised eyebrow, a la kind of the Rock style, smolder look kind of thing. And then his other face is one of my favourite ones. If I just pop it up there, he has this really worried, I'm scared, I'm in trouble kind of look, which I really like. It reminds me a lot of the Screaming Duke figure from G.I. Joe, and it's actually really good for doing poses with him being chased by things or him getting into trouble, so it is great for using for photos and stuff like that. But I like the fact that you can swap it out for a more neutral look, so he's not stuck looking worried all the time. So he is a really good figure. I do love the paint apps on him. I love the camo on the pants, the military green armor shin pieces and stuff like that, and the shirt. If we're just flipping around to the back, you can see the camo a bit better. He does scale quite well with other figures in 6-inch scale, so if I just bring in, see, and just change his face back again, he's more worried look, and then just bring in the Star Wars Clone Trooper. It's the Phase 2 Clone Trooper. Just get him to stand. You can see he looks quite worried that he's about to be shot in the back by a Stormtrooper. Or sorry, not Stormtrooper, Clone Trooper. So he's quite good. Now this is a gun that came with one of the other figures I picked up. I think it was the Visitor had this one. And you can hold that as well. So if you have any of the other figures, you can actually give them their weapons as well. They're quite interchangeable. So if you want, you can have them dual wielding guns that would probably break his arms if he used them to shoot with. So yeah, he's quite a good figure. I do recommend picking him up if you can find him. I love the kind of goofy, scared look face. It's just something about it just is really hilarious about it. So even still, just I know the scales are off, but you have the Doom Slayer behind him, looking like he's about to kick his butt. But yeah, he's a really good figure. I do recommend picking him up if you can find him. The Legendary series is quite a nice series. As I said before, it scales well with Marvel Legends and other things, and other figures in that scale. So I do recommend getting him. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this quick video review for Jonesy from Fortnite, the Legendary scale or series version of him. And as I did say, if you can find them, do recommend picking them up. So cheers, guys. As I say in my videos, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I hope you enjoyed this video review. Cheers.